Hello, everyone. Welcome to this spontaneous Facebook Live where I wanted to come on and share about anchoring in the worthiness frequency and tapping into infinite possibilities of abundance. So, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I love to draw. I am not any good at it, but I wanted to share this with you today because I know that a lot of you are like, okay, I like your posts, I like what you're vibing with here, but how does this actually work? So, what I thought I would do today is a little show and tell and share with you how your vibration, how your energy, your beliefs, the patterns that you operate with create your reality. So, I want to take this from a nervous system perspective, a subconscious belief perspective, and show you how you can begin shifting your reality. Because the truth is that everything is energy. This has been shown by quantum physics that 99.99999% of an atom is energy and only 0.001% is physical. So if you look around your environment, you're only seeing matter, you're only seeing the physical, tangible reality, but there's actually 99 times that in relation to energy. So everything that we can't see is typically dictating what shows up in our environment. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. And I see some people joining. I just decided to come on very spontaneously. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about how to quickly shift your reality. This is part of the work that I do, the rapid transformation work, to help you skyrocket your confidence, clients, and cash flow. So if that is you, you are on the right video. Stay tuned because this is really juicy. So we have an aura, we have an energy around us. So you can tell this by how you feel when someone walks into the room. Have you ever experienced, maybe you even walking into a room and you're like, I know something just happened, like someone got into a fight, something went down over here? That is you picking up on energy, right? The vibe, the frequency of what happened in that room. So we sense energy all the time, but we aren't often taught about this. When you can harness this and truly shift your identity, your beliefs, your nervous system, and how you show up, it is going to change what you create in your world. So I'm going to dive into that. So the same way that you can sense other people's energy, you also broadcast a signal. And I can pick up on this very quickly because I've been doing this for 13 years and I am very intuitive. I can diagnose very quickly by looking at someone and feeling into how they're speaking, how they're talking, the frequency of their tone. I can feel these blocks. So by blocks, I mean limiting beliefs or parts of themselves that they're maybe hiding or holding back on. I can feel into I call them low voltage patterns. So people pleasing, perfectionism, shame, overthinking, all of these patterns are blocking them from fully being illuminated and shining in their fullest self-expression. So this is why we have to do this work, because if you are dimming down parts of your brilliance, then your soul clients can't really find you. So again, when you walk into a room at a networking event, me coming on live here, you feel an energy. That's why you're still on with me, because something in your soul is resonating, just like a tuning fork. Something is like, I know she's onto something here. So this is how I teach my clients how to become magnetic. So rather than chasing, convincing, feeling like you have to beg and discount to get clients, whatever your niche is, whether it's real estate, coaching, whatever that is, it's allowed to be easier. And I'm going to show you how to do that here. Because the truth is that 5% of your actions are conscious. They're things that you consciously know about, that you can strategically plan for, but really 95% of everything you do is programs that have been running from birth to age 7. So we form our foundational blueprint of our identity, who we are in the world, what we think we're capable of, all within those foundational 7 years. And so that's what I have here. It's this past timeline. If you are here and this is the present moment and you project an aura, you have a presence when you walk into a room, and people can feel that, and it's magnetic and it's attractive, you know those people. And I'm not saying any of this to shame anybody, but it's to bring out some of these blocks that are holding you back in your business and in your life. So if we emit this frequency through our thoughts, through our nervous system, whether we're dysregulated or we're in fight or flight, or we feel unworthy, like, oh, I have imposter syndrome and like I really shouldn't be here, people can feel that. So what I have found is that a lot of business owners get frustrated because they're doing all of the practical things. They're only operating from that 5% that I just talked about. The conscious mind, the strategy, all of that. But then when they show up, there's this mismatch. So maybe they're posting all of the right things and they're using ChatGPT and all of that. But then when you see them in person or when they're on live like this, you can feel that there's almost like a hesitation, or they're hiding different parts of themselves. I mean, I can feel that right away. What we want is for this coherence to happen, for you to have the subconscious beliefs, the nervous system regulation, the confidence, the magnetism shining in your gifts, so that when you go to that networking meeting, it's even more effective. Because nothing is worse than doing the same thing and you're putting in all the effort and you're not seeing the results in your business or bank account. So this is what's happening often, is that you are operating from old patterns. So patterns that have once protected you, like people pleasing, and that shows up in the form of discounting your offers or bartering, or feeling like you have to please everybody. And so you often are depleted. You feel burnt out, you feel overwhelmed, and that is the top layer symptom. But really, there are all of these root cause patterns that are survival patterns that you've adapted for years and decades that are running your business. So again, if we're only looking at the 5% of the conscious mind and our strategy and what we think we should be doing, but then our old reality is pulling us back that 95%, that is when you're going to get frustrated. And until you harness this 95%, the rewiring these patterns, looking at changing your subconscious beliefs like, I don't belong, it's not safe to be myself. I talked a lot about this in my signature talk. That is when you can fully show up confident, bold, powerful. This is the crux of all of the work that I do, because if you look here, this is all that's pulling you back. This is the lens of how you see the world. So see, it's very narrow and it's scarce. So if you're operating from old patterns, you probably have a lens currently of scarcity, lack, not seeing opportunities when they're actually all around you. So one of the things that I just recorded in my Fully Powered Feminine program was all about tapping into these infinite opportunities and becoming a magnet for them. Because when you can open up this, I think it's called an aperture or something, like in the camera, when you can open up the lens of seeing abundance everywhere, because it is everywhere, then that's when your reality starts shifting. But that can only happen when we work on this part, which are your patterns, subconscious beliefs, your nervous system. Are you in fight, flight, freeze? Do you go to overwhelm and shut down and you just hide and run away or avoid? There are all of these different, very subtle patterns that show up. And trauma shows up everywhere. This is oftentimes as a result of trauma. So whatever your early childhood experiences were, they are shaping how you show up now. And it's not from a place of shaming or making you feel guilty. It's just like, hey, this is why you're doing all of the effort and it's not leading to anything. And maybe you are, or I don't want to say not leading to anything, or you're not reaching the desired income level or impact that you really want. Because here's the thing, you have to build the inner capacity to receive whatever you want externally. So if you want $20,000 months, your nervous system has to feel safe to hold that level of clients, cash flow, visibility. If you're overwhelmed, you can't possibly take in any other information. So it's not just self-care and taking a nap or things like that, or like listening to a podcast. It's literally rewiring these patterns so that you have more space to hold not just always positive emotions. Like, things are going to come up, right? In our business, we're going to get triggered. We're going to have client experiences. We will have partnerships that don't work out. I had 32 TEDx rejections. All of these things are going to come in to strengthen that capacity. And I call this voltage training. So if we want the next level of whatever that is, if it's like clients, income, whatever, we have to build the inner foundation. And this is what nervous system work is. As an example, nervous system work can look like many different facets. It can be orienting around the room. It can be breath work. It can be attuning with these younger parts. I call this work protector parts work. So things like, okay, this situation is coming up in your business and it's creating a fight or flight response. You're getting anxious. How do we grow your capacity to be able to deal with the situation without completely collapsing or going into shutdown or getting overwhelmed and running away? But how do we hold this part with compassion while also moving forward? So, as an example, and I always go back to the TEDx rejections because it took major resilience and capacity. So if 75% of people who have applied for TEDx will apply to one or two and be out because they don't have the capacity. They think, oh, like, I'm not good enough, and then they run away. So in order for us to be persistent, to keep going, even in sales conversations, honestly, I have received a lot of no's. I don't take it personally because I built that muscle. I have stretched my capacity to be able to know that I am worthy no matter what, and that the right aligned people are going to be watching this video. They're going to be connected with me. I literally have had, in the past like 2 weeks, a client windfall, all these opportunities coming in. And I share this because I want you to have the same. I am not special. I have just learned how to harness that 95%. The energetics of showing up all the way and owning the hell out of my gifts. And that's how I help my clients do this as well. So we have the energetic piece of doing the inner work of what I just talked about, but then also the practical piece of, okay, now how are we going to have clients funnel in for you? What offers do you have that feel really juicy and aligned and lit up? What are the speaking opportunities that we're going to go after? What are the practical ways that you're going to have sales conversations that don't deplete you, don't exhaust you, because then you're coaching through Messenger? All of these things, boundaries, standards, these are masculine containers. I always talk about this with my clients because we have to have somewhere for people to land, for people to pay us. So to grow our capacity, it takes the inner work, but then also the practical strategic things that feel really exciting to your soul. Listening to your intuition, following the nudge of like, I need to reach out to that person. It might not make logical sense. It's probably not going to. But that is how you skyrocket your confidence, clients, and cash flow, is by combining these two powerful things, the 5% conscious, the strategy, with the 95% harnessing your energy, so that when you show up, it's like, here I am. You can do, you can be fully self-expressed, and the right people are going to be drawn to you and the wrong ones are going to filter themselves out. So when I say it's allowed to be easier, this is what I'm talking about. It's operating your business in a totally new way, one that is more free and easeful and pleasure-led. Like, you don't have to do things you don't love doing. So I'll often ask my clients, I'll say, like, what is a needle mover for you that feels really exciting to do? Let's double down on that. Let's create ways that you can connect with clients, whatever that might be for you. Like, I love being in person with people. So I am going to seek out opportunities and look for that in my environment for opportunities to do that. The last part of this is the opportunity magnetism. So we're going to be diving into this in the Worthy and Wealthy 3-day challenge. And I'm going to be teaching you how to have your reticular activating system look for opportunities, because opportunities are all around you. And truly growing your income is about seeing where the value is and then amplifying that value. So as an example, I just went to a networking meeting and I saw a girl that I know there. She does breath work. And I was like, the Holy Spirit was kind of like, go talk to her. We're going to be doing a workshop together. We're creating a win-win situation. There is value there. And that's how opportunities come to fruition. It's not always through somebody emailing you or someone approaching you and saying, hey, do you want to do this thing? Like, opportunities are all around us. They're in a conversation that you hear peripherally. They're in, within a networking group through asking questions and finding the value and noticing patterns. There's all of these different ways that you create opportunity. Someone didn't just say to me, oh, go on stage um, and yeah, you didn't get the 32 TEDx, but like, here's an opportunity. No, I created the opportunity because I love to speak. So I took the action steps when there was no proof, when there was no permission, when there was no applause, when no one really got what I was talking about. But when you are fully powered and you can show up with this harnessed energy, it's not going to matter what anybody else says. It's not going to matter if you like spill something on your dress that day, because you are operating from such a high frequency of service, of value exchange, of opening your heart. And I know that it's so easy in our world to feel overwhelmed, to look around and say, oh my God, the world's a mess, da 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 da. But what's our focus? So when people come to work with me, here are the things that happen and why they get the skyrocket effect. We focus your energy. Instead of it being scattered all over the place, we focus on needle movers that are going to get you clients and cash flow. Things that light you up, things that excite you. I help you to quickly shift the blind spots and the blocks. We attune with the pieces of you that are coming up to protect you, the younger parts we talked about. And we open up your lens. So if you look back here, opening up this lens, see how it's very narrow? When we open up your lens to see opportunities everywhere, the things that you once missed, you're now going to see, because we're telling your brain to say, how can I offer value? How can I get in front of more people? When you ask the brain a question, it is going to give you an answer. The brain loves to solve problems. So your focus sharpens. You start opening up that aperture, whatever that's called, your lens. You start seeing more opportunities everywhere. You have the confidence, the conviction to go ahead and boldly ask people for things. That is another really big component. As an example, I saw someone the other day who is somewhat of a celebrity here in Pittsburgh, and I was like, I'm gonna just go up to that person. The Holy Spirit, again, just like my intuition led me, and I went and talked to them, and I said, oh, I'd love to be on your podcast. No one approached me, no one came up to me. I followed that inner impulse. And when you can learn to follow that impulse, it's like, something's here for me. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna go for it. A lot more opportunities open up for you. I will oftentimes get impulses or an intuitive hit to meet with certain people, to email certain people, whatever that is. When you follow these nudges, that leads to abundance. So we oftentimes are like, well, show me how to make the money. Show me how to whatever. This is it right here. I just had a post that was talking about how I help, like right off the bat, clients find $30,000 of hidden revenue. It's because of these things that I'm talking about here, these very subtle yet powerful shifts that will help you see opportunity everywhere and then feel safe to actually receive it. Because like I said, if you're closed, if you've got walls around your heart, you don't trust people, or there is a lot of these hidden fears of like, well, imposter syndrome and all this, you're going to hide. You're going to be hiding your light, and God doesn't want that. God wants you to shine. God wants to use you for the gifts that he gave you, the voice, the impact, even your nervous system, your presence. Like, that is really what this work is. It's leading people back to God, because I know there are so many brilliant healers out there. But if people can't see the real you, if they can't know clear steps of how to work with you, if there's any like fuzziness about it, then they can't hire you, they can't pay you. So these are the ways that I help my clients to literally skyrocket your confidence, clients, and cash flow, and they all feed into each other. Because when you show up confidently, when you really don't give a fuck and you're like, here I am, it's magnetic, and the right people are going to be there, and the wrong ones are going to be like, nope, opting out, swiping left. And that's okay. Because when you love yourself, when you accept yourself so deeply, it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. And then you become unstoppable, you become untouchable, and that automatically is going to lead to more people wanting to work with you, hire you for speaking, connections, opportunities. The more open you are and the less protected you are, the more, think about it, the more you can receive. So this is really simple if you drill it down. It's like, the more you protect yourself, the more you're in fear and like, oh, scarcity, you're not going to receive that way. You can't trick the universe into being like, oh, okay, like you're acting and showing up this way, but like I'm going to give you abundance, right? Because if you think about, you are always broadcasting a signal. And if you're holding on to guilt or shame, or you operate from fear, then you can't receive. And yet people just keep going and doing the same thing over and over and over again, convincing themselves that they can figure it out, and DIY and chat GPT and all of that. But if you're still watching, I know that you are resonating with this. And I'm telling you, this is the way. When you do the deeper work, when you feel worthy, when you actually have the frequency of worthiness and you vibrate that, what do you think you attract? Abundance, wealth, opportunities, clients, connections. That is what worthy and wealthy is all about. So if this resonated with you, I highly, highly recommend. We've got a kick-ass group already. I'm super excited. We start November 3rd. It's November 3rd, 4th, and 6th. And I'm going to be streaming into a Facebook group, actually working with you and helping you with this. So if you're curious about what is showing up for you, I can do this very quickly within 5 minutes. I don't have to even be on live or Zoom or in person. We can do it very quickly. I actually had somebody who jumped into my Confident Client Attraction program who, she had some walls around her heart. She was hiding. I could feel it. Did a quick practice with her, and she called in, I think it was a 4-figure speaking engagement, like a couple days later. So when you shift what's happening inside, you naturally are going to welcome in and receive on the outside. Everything that you are desiring is available to you. And it's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, to shift. So I want to hear from you. What are you thinking? What resonated? Did you like my drawing? And yeah, I really look forward to the people that have already said yes to worthy and wealthy, because you are going to get all the juicy goodness and the bonuses and the benefits. So I want to hear from you. Let me know how this resonated, and I will see you on the next live. All right, bye.